I want to be cool and famous and powerful, and I want it now. None of this grinding experience or helping poor people or doing side quests to earn my riches and resources. No. I'm going to have my stupidly wealthy father gift me the rarest and most expensive equipment in the realm, and head straight to Act 3 with a full party of level 1 characters, dripped out to the max with entitlement and arrogance as my guides. It's time to prove that once and for all, greatness by birthright is... Hold on, does that say nepotism? That's a slur for rich people. You can't... In order to make sure my father's money did not go to waste, I assembled a board of investors to draw up plans for our builds. Annoyingly, the wheel is on the board, so he decided what everyone's class would be, but after that, it was hours of going back and forth on what ended up being the first iterations of the team. Mordra, our Tav, as always, is to be a cleric and act as the mortar holding the operation together. Gale is our druid who is focusing on soaking up attacks from the front line. Shadowheart is a paladin whose blade and shield strike fear and damage into the hearts of our enemies. Will the wizard stacks conditions on our enemies while whittling them down with magic missile. PLESASE is our rogue, outfitted with an improved critical of 15 and a quiet hand. Halsin, the warlock, wielding the classic Shadow Blade and Eldritch Blasts. Astarion, the ranger, who has a bow and stuff. I don't know what level 1 rangers do. Minthara, our monk with the magic hands of ass-kicking. And finally, Jaheira the fighter, master of swords and Dami-Mabi vibes. Expect these builds to change as we continue on, and I, the board of investors, have no idea what we're talking about. For funsies, I rolled to see what companions I would take into our first test in Act 3, and was given Druid Gale, Wizard Will, and Paladin Shart, along with our Tav Cleric Mordra.
Get these spotters out of my house now! That's not the key.
We began by casting Crusader's Mantle and Healing Incense Aura, given to us by our equipment, followed by the immediate death of our cleric getting rid of the mantle we just cast. The thieves are rolling high today, apparently. And with that, the most obvious challenge is revealed immediately, and that is the extremely low health of our party. Luckily, it's easy to recover, given that we have an even initiative distribution, but being downed that quickly is a bad omen for the future. I also plan to rely a lot on Will's Magic Missile for its 100% hit chance, but as you can see, we have very little opportunities to cast that spell, so I'll have to be more strategic with its use. The combination of low max health, having to waste actions healing, and dealing low amounts of damage to level 8 enemies made this encounter last a lot longer than it normally would. But in the end, our first battle is a win, and it teaches us a lot about what to expect in future fights. Healing Incense Aura is goated as hell. Gale is tanky but can't do very much, and most of all, these fights are going to take much longer to complete than normal because of how few actions we have.
What's the plan?
Look for refugees traveling alone, or any stupid enough to leave camp.
Oh my god.
Remind them that this is our city, and we don't take kindly to parasites.
You murdered someone in view of a guard.
Alright, let's get serious.
Benji here checks all our patrons to make sure none of you are vicious murderers.
After some tech issues and low poly stairs, I decided to push our luck further and give the Dribbles fight a try.
Truly, I might as well go mount the gallows.
Gale doesn't seem too confident for some reason. I wonder why. As karma for tormenting Gale, I got my ass swiftly handed to me by a single displacer beast and ran away with my tail between my legs.
Wahey!
Now it's time to head into the city, because we have 8 objectives to tackle in order to complete this challenge. The Iron Throne, the Steel Watch, Gortash, Orin, Cazador, the House of Grief, the House of Hope, and the final battle, aka the Netherbrain. We aren't going to worry about any of the other little quests and adventures in this act, because why would we? It's not like we need to see life among the commoners to gain valuable life skills and experience. We have daddy's money to take us to the top. After spinning for a new team, I wanted to further test the efficiency of our builds by going to the closest set of encounters directly beneath the Elfsong Tavern. We started by kicking around a bunch of rats, and then the rats unionized and downed both Astarion and Minthara.
An ill omen of what is to come.
Is there any way you guys think that I might be able to take on the Gith? Oh, famous last words. But before I began this encounter in earnest, one of the board members reminded me of something I had not considered.
Come.
Do you have tadpole powers? Oh, yes. Oh, I have 6 tadpoles available. I hate doing this, but I will because I have a mod that makes my face look normal. I'm a big softie and don't normally indulge in the more dubious activities of the game, so I forget the tadpole powers are even a thing and not limited by a character's level. In fact, I forgot the entire existence of tadpoles. Full stop. But for Mordra, I picked up Stage Fright in order to get Displacer Beast form and then Displace just for fun.
Go on. Don't be a
Ah! Okay, it still works. I was like, ew, why does it have it in the cutscene? For Minthara, I would get those two perks along with Black Hole because that sounded really cool. The plan for this fight, in order to not be surrounded and killed immediately, is to sneak everyone into the Emperor's back room, collect a couple of scrolls, and gain access to the sewers as an escape route, or a way back into the area without going down all those stairs again. All while the Emperor gives me a house tour against my will. And this is when I realized I had made a huge mistake. Although now we'll learn who Orin has kidnapped. Irani's on Lae'zel? I hope not, she's my fucking rogue. Damn it!
It's not safe here. It's too late for
That's
me,
my
but not
rogue.
for you. Run
Oh
as
my
fast
God.
as your legs can carry you.
That's my rogue, no. Why did I go to the goddamn fucking basement? I hit a long rest to grab a new team and then started the plan, which was to lure the Gith into the back room as to not be surrounded, set up AoEs to chip at their health while they try to get to us, and cast darkness to keep them from doing ranged attacks into the room. What I wouldn't know until the events of Chapter 6 is that my darkness removed the cloud kill that I just cast. Fun fact, if you're a dummy like me, this allowed the Gith to move right around the cloud kill and into the darkness without taking any damage, and Chai Ska Lady here started picking us off early, forcing us to retreat further into the room than I expected having to. I tried casting Sleet Storm to hold her back and Wall of Fire to keep out the rest of the Gith to try and do what cloud kill was supposed to earlier, but most of them just Misty Step past it, made the save and took like 1 damage, or just jump and tanked it like a beast. Before long, the wall was down, as was the rest of my team, and then we had our first game over screen. I needed to see a different combination of companions and more builds in order to figure out what wasn't working. I hired an elite team of Zentrum assassins to kidnap the wheel and imprison it on a private island far away so that I could take full control and build the perfect team. I brought in Monk Thara, Warlock Halsin, and Fighter Jaheira to have some more physical fighting power against the Gith this time. Similar setup, but a slightly different approach. With Jaheira effectively having 34 health and being a giant, I was very confident. Oh, what the hell, there's already 5 of them in here and the healer is dead. Oh my god, I have to reload, I have to reload, I have to reload. I set up my bottleneck with the attackers ready for when one of the—
What's up, bitch?
What do you mean they just Misty stepped through the darkness? How could they see through that? That makes no sense! Something I did learn from this attempt, though, was that Jaheira's build fucking rocks. She's huge, does a lot of damage output, and has built-in blur at the beginning of each of her turns. She single-handedly took down the worst offender, which makes it the first build other than my healer that is a necessary keep. And then I lost, by the way. Something you don't get to hear as I set up attempt number 4 is the high-pitched whistle of steam coming out of my ears from the rage boiling my brain alive from constant failures. I had stopped streaming these attempts because I needed to lock in and get this shit on the road. This time I decided to leave Jaheira out front a little longer to do some more damage before leading everyone back to my little hidey hole. It was really satisfying to watch Jaheira take chunks out of this Chirai and have attack after attack fail to land a blow on Jaheira. Even though she did a good bit of damage out there on her own, she can't last out there forever, and it was time to throw out the AoEs once we lured in enough of the Gith. I layered Black Tentacles and Cloud Kill to really give it to them while I was sniping from afar. This was the first time I really felt like things were picking up and I had at least a chance, but it was quickly curb stomped into the concrete by the Gith being able to hit for over half health on every strike due to our low max HP, and their own max HP seeing them tank my AoEs before making it through and downing companions in 2 or 3 strikes. It was a slow and painful war of attrition that I could only hold off for so long before being taken out once again. After some hard lessons from the Gith, it was time to get into our first real objective: the Iron Throne, which means first getting past these big dog guys for some reason. They just be doing shit in this game sometimes. Which doesn't matter that much other than seeing Minthara cull the weak. Look at all that damage. And Jaheira cleaning up the rest, which is cool. Then just a couple of checks to head down into the water, easy dub. Oh, that's a big number. After failing a million times, we get it, we get it! I decided to grab Janeth's hat to give me advantage on persuasion and deception checks. What do you mean?
Submersible.
Finally. Okay, down to business. One round of peerless focus and haste for everyone, and we are off to the races. Y'all know the drill. Open as many doors as you can as early as you can while protecting the little guys from the fish baddies. No, not that kind of baddie. Hell yeah, Jaheira, get in there. One door down. I sent Will and Mordra down the East Hall with the hopes of being able to quickly teleport away with the Duke, and maybe save a few gnomes as well. Nice. I sent Minthara down the West Hall to open 2 doors and dispatch 2 fishy men. She's a monk, so I'm pretty sure she can handle it. For some reason this round, the fish people really had it out for the gnomes, but luckily 2 of them made it through, and that's what's mostly important. We had most of the gnomes out of their cages before the end of round 1, which was a big W. As it came back around to Jaheira's turn, you'll notice that I got the infamous neutral ally Jaheira bug, which is extremely annoying and will come into play a little bit more later. Anyway, I sent her down the south hallway to help out some dudes over here. Meanwhile, in the East Hall, Mordra had freed the Duke, unsnared Mr. Marlu Randall here, popped a quick heal, and Dimension Doored herself and the Dookie all the way down the hall, triggering the spiders, of course. Back with Minthara, the fish dudes continue to ignore her and just go right for the gnomes. They take their cop jobs very seriously. A small break to watch Will kick ass with Magic Missile before Minthara managed to at least teleport one of the gnomes to safety and shut the door behind her so the fishmen could not follow. Help that guy for nothing, I guess. The Duke made it to the ladder by round 3, and Jaheira had saved one prisoner at the cost of another's life, sadly. A quick healing aura to the team before Mordra makes an attempt to get rid of the rest of the spiders, one of them at least. Will is able to get himself and a remaining gnome to the ladder with Dimension Door, and right after, Minthara is able to make her way up to the ship to safety. After freeing one of the final captives, Jaheira makes her way down to Outmelum to be able to be transported back to the ship. This is honestly the only reason I speak to Outmelum every single run, as it's the easiest way to get one of your companions back from down that hall. Mordra shuts the door in front of a fishman and the remaining spiders before making her way to the ladder and being one of the final companions to reach the ship. This fish guy for some reason came in here to yell at us and then left? Huh? I don't know what his deal was. RIP to our fallen prisoners. And then just like that, I've completed one of my easiest run-throughs of the Iron Throne. It seems to get better every single time you play it. One down, 6 more to go. First stop outside the Foundry is a group of wackos trying to kill Volo. Gotta get big for us, of course. God damn it, Jaheira didn't join combat immediately again. Motherfucker. There we go. Wait, how the fuck did Will die? Why did that happen? Something to note about our builds is that we either can't be touched or die in 1 or 2 hits. High AC and low HP. This fight might take forever. You see what I mean? Also, the tadpole powers are fucking OP as hell, and I am astounded that I have not used these sooner. I don't know if I could never jump up here, or if I just can't jump up here because Jaheira's huge. There you go, scamp. Get on out of here. Must collect every smoke powder barrel possible. Oh shit, I've been caught. Or not? Bro is the opposite of a knower. He's a don't knower. A hardly knower. Will having access to a free chain lightning is really cool. Dang, look at Jaheira go. Alright, let's crack open this gate. Oh, fuck.
Murdered someone in view of a guard.
Thanks, Captain Obvious. Alright, let's get Mordred back up.
Active
What?
vandalism has taken place.
Oh, hold on a second. Alright, there we go. That explosion earlier gave me chronic bag fumbling disease, as shown by how many times I failed to get inside this building. Great, all I needed was a crit. A little hit of some worm before we go in. That's the stuff. Give everybody some passives. Off we go.
Sort of fight.
Now, you might be saying, hey Aaron, why are you casting AoEs with no mind for the gnomes in the way? Well, dear viewer, it is because we are in the second fight in this run, and I'm already tired of losing, so I don't feel like sacrificing damage output just to save a few What was that? I'm being cancelled? They're gonna stone me in the streets. All aboard the toxic gossip train. As you can see, Steel Sleet Storm is going to be a very important spell scroll throughout this run, as it keeps many of my enemies on their backs instead of constantly downing my companions in 1 to 2 hits, even though that still does indeed happen frequently. After a number of rounds and Will taking the fall for the team, I noticed Jaheira wasn't even in combat. Jesus, I have never had this much trouble with her before. What is the deal? I'm glad I noticed that when I did, because Jaheira and the Tadpole powers are going to be the only thing that sees me succeed in this fight at all. In order to keep even half my team alive and fighting, I needed to send Mordred into Displacer Beast form, which I immediately teleported to and slipped on ice that I cast myself. Only the most elite gamer moves here, folks. The tag teaming here between Jaheira's high AC/damage and the Displacer Beast leaving copies of itself everywhere was pretty incredible. The copies the beast leaves behind, having full health bars and the ability to take reactions, is extremely OP. But sadly, when a fight becomes 2 against 5, a good thing doesn't last forever. Not only did Mordred get downed, erasing all my beast copies, Jaheira was dominated, forcing her to attack Minthara's copies. I was incredibly pissed. But luckily, it only stole a turn from me as I was able to break the concentration with the help of Call the Weak. A couple of rounds go by as I slowly whittle away at the guards, and Minthara is killed in 1 hit, removing all of her Displacer Beast copies as well. Awesome. But since Jaheira is the GOAT, she was able to finish off this fight on her own, after quite a number of rounds. I went around to revive everyone and then spoke to the corpse of Tubin, who will give me the secret passcode to destroy the Foundry. I absolutely did not want to spend another 3 hours trying to wave my way through this group of enemies, so I had Minthara walk through with invisibility, just barely pass an intelligence check of 7, and cue the awkward running. Ah, fuck, why are you here?
I saw the explosions from across the pond. I should have known you'd be right in the thick of it. The city thanks you.
I hate you.
I thank you.
Fuck you.
The Gondian menace is finally over.
Eat shit and die.
Now is the time for the Iron Hand gnomes.
I really needed that.
You!
Oh, wait, Marcus.
This was not the deal!
I know,
You were
I know.
meant to stop this madness, not enmadden it!
Marcus, I'm doing a YouTube video. It's part of a challenge.
I wish you'd left me tied to that infernal windmill.
You don't mean that.
At least I would have been spared witnessing this horror.
Marcus, just think of the views.
We won't meet again.
No, please. Marcus.
Good day.
My boy. My boy. JK, I reloaded that whole thing because I really need the Iron Hand Grenaders in the final fight, and also I don't want to make Marcus mad. Anyway, Steel Watch done. Count your fucking days, Gortash. First stop is pressuring Will into taking worms, which I feel really bad about. We need every advantage we can get and taking every shortcut possible. Just like I learned from Elon, we're gonna go in stealth style and hit Gortash without him even knowing. That way, I can take the upper hand.
This city is mine.
Oh! Okay. Alright, let's do this a little differently. I'll throw it, but this time I'll succeed the save and maybe even go first. Okay, I don't get to go first. Alright, let's try that again. I don't know why I thought that was going to go differently. Anyway, I sent Mordra along to make sure that Minthara could be healed and run away to safety before... Oh. Oh, she's safe this time. Never mind. I'll just send her back upstairs. The plan here is to entirely avoid all the traps by sneaking into the second level of the bell tower, forcing Gortash and his goons to chase us up the ladder one at a time. And while they're wasting their first couple actions on dashes, everyone on our team gets time to use their passives before they even enter combat. And here comes the belle of the ball himself. Jaheira, why are you still not joining combat? Oh my god. Anyway, I tried to push him down the ladder, but it didn't seem like I could get him to fall down the little hole.
I will not fail.
Oh, you want fail, Minthara? You want fail? Wow. 5 damage. Wonderful. I sentenced you to Displacer Beast form for the rest of the fight. No thanks to Minthara, it felt pretty good to start with the Chosen of Bane lying on his back. Our goat Jaheira became washed and lost her first round of big hits, but Will really picked up the slack with his magic missile, taking down Gortash to nearly half health. Side note, you see how easy this fight starts to get when you remove all the traps? Anyway, the gas station attendant here goes big mode, and Mordred takes an elixir of Cloud Giant Strength to start the real fun of this plan. God, that was funny. The lack of traps in this fight really makes a lot of the obstacles useless. You don't care about his Hands of Bane because you can just move wherever you want. You don't give a shit about his minions because you just get to send them to Taco Bell every round. And the reverberation from Magic Missile knocking him down every round is never not funny. I only missed one athletics check to throw one of the minions down, but this fight was going so well, I really didn't care. And then something weird happened at the ladder. What you're about to see is entirely unedited, except for the fact that it's sped up. What the hell is that? He just kept getting opportunity attacks over and over again. I thought you'd like to have another one as a treat. This guy's less of a lord and more of a pillow princess, am I right, fellas? Oh, that doesn't get old. Is he gonna get out this time? Bro died on the ladder of infinite torture. Wait. No way it's happening again. What the fuck? Well, good for me, I guess. Oh, what? Did the enemy just do something? I didn't notice. Bro's camping spawn? He's camping spawn? This fight was really, really smooth. There was nothing the greasy fascist could do but eat my shit over and over again until he died. One more thing. Bitch. Bitch. Rest in piss, Uggo. On to the next one. In order to even get to Orin, I needed the Amulet of Ball. The easiest way to do that is to just go alone and go along with the ritual. It feels sad to have to stoop so low as to murder a... Oh, it's just that incompetent cop? Oh no. The horror. I hate this. I hate to do this. Oh no. Oh no, I'm so evil and so wrong for doing this. Oh no, I hate it. Oh no. It's time for a goop bath. Goop, 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 goop. Why's my mouse in the middle of the screen? God damn it. Why do they make me do an evil smile? This isn't a dirge run.
I bestow upon you the Amulet of Baal.
Thanks, bro.
Unholy assassin. Does have a certain ring to it.
Don't get used to it, girl. And then, as I advise everyone to do, you take an invisible stroll down Murder Lane. Because we're already level 12 and we don't need to do this. It's annoying. Once you get the waypoint, you can teleport the girlies right to the front. Oh, also I gave Karlach a worm. Feels bad. I swapped out Will for Karlach for literally a 1-point bump in spell attack and DC based on charisma stat boost as a sorcerer. I gave Minthara the gloves of soul catching for an extra 1d10 force damage, advantage on attack rolls and saving throws, and a +2 bump to constitution. Dang, those gloves kinda do a lot. The horns of the berserker also for a +2 to attack rolls and an extra 2 necrotic damage.
Let's get this show on the road.
Now, I knew going into this fight it was going to be hard, so I went in with a couple different strategies. If you remove the chanting ballists, who are protected by Sanctuary, you can prevent Orin from recharging her unstoppable ability. I tried a few times to go in with thunder arrows and throw them off the platform, but that did not work out too well. I tried this twice. My next idea was to just throw Orin off the edge herself and avoid the Slayer form altogether. Even with the Cloud Giant strength, I fucking failed the check, and she tore me a new asshole. Oh god, Karlach's catching strays. Oh! Ooh. Next attempt, I went in with a combination of the first two strategies, hoping for a better outcome. I actually sent 2 of the ballists into the abyss before combat began, and then another, and for some reason, Jaheira got into a separate combat with this random guy. Finally, Karlach enters the fray by hitting Orin with a round of magic missiles, and then the Slayer form comes out and the real fight begins. Hold on, we can't just ignore that.
Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon, hella ass.
Ha, the demonetization technique. You won't get rid of me that easy, Orin. Why the hell is Jaheira still in a different combat than the rest of us? Fucking great, he downed her. Killed her, I mean, just outright. Fuck. I was having marginal success on the magic missile front and setting ballists into the void, but I couldn't do damage fast enough to keep up. That's a reload. Attempt 4, I made sure to go in prepped with haste and elixirs all around. Minthara and Mordra would go in invisibly to take out some ballists before entering combat. That did not work at all. Not one bit. In spite of that, this was a pretty good attempt. We got Orin under half health and sent most of the cultists into the void in only a few rounds. But in the end, Orin with her big ass claws and the most annoying ballist fushjin or whatever still managed to win out because of our slow action economy. On the next attempt, she literally one-shot us. All of us. At this point, I was big mad. Also, I switched out Jaheira for Paladin Sharp because I was just about tired of this weird bug where Jaheira just doesn't enter combat randomly. It fucking sucks. She ended up having a slightly higher AC after swapping loadouts. I decided to keep Nerulna on her as well as Giant Slayer to be more versatile. She got the Helm of Baldur and the Regeneration Ring for some assured self-healing, as well as the Amulet of Greater Health and the Gloves of Hill Giant Strength to set her con and strength at 23. Now she's ready to step out and step on all of you simps, so make sure to comment, "Step on me, mommy shard," in the comments below. The start of combat at attempt 5 did not bring me much hope for my switch up. Yeah, attempt 6, I threw Orin off the platform successfully, but even so, her goons finished us off. I mean, depleted us, like killed us. Non-sexually. Can you tell I'm losing my mind? Attempt 7. Attempt 8. I was getting desperate. It was time to break out the big guns. Our swords, I guess. I'm starting combat with all of my companions either hidden or invisible before their actions. The first of which being Mordra tossing Orin into a chasm, followed by Minthara releasing
the secret weapon,
globe of invulnerability. Karlach shoots a bra off the ledge, and then we only have just enough time to get everyone into the globe before it runs out after the third turn. I kept the attempt going by throwing as many cultists as I could into the chasm, but they still managed to down us one by one. Shart was the last one standing against 4 foes, and part of me feels like if the dice fell a little differently, she could have pulled through. But she didn't. Attempt 10, I started by making sure everyone was placed near the middle of the area so that we would start out in the globe. Tossed Orin into the chasm and placed the globe just a little too late and a little too far away to prevent Shadowheart from being downed round 1. Luckily, combined with the healing aura and just having a cleric in the party, allowed us to bring her back up for round 2. Then I made a big mistake, trying to cast Wall of Fire while I'm concentrating on haste, nullifying both spells. Fucking amateur hour over here. At this point, I'll never be Hokage. Arguably, my next move makes up for it when I remember that I can wake up Lae'zel, since we have the key from Orin. Urethra! We've got 5 in the fight now. And she immediately crits and paralyzes an enemy. Oh, how I've missed you, Bazel. The globe here now protects us from all incoming hits during the enemy turns, then ends at the start of round 3, where I have Minthara cast a second globe. Now there's one downside to the globe that I'm sure you have thought about already. The enemies are also invulnerable when they're in the globe. Like everything else in my life, I ignored this issue and focused on the enemies I could damage at first. God, look at that! Look at that! Don't you just love Magic Missile? Oh my god, look at all that damage you could stack up. Look at that, it's beautiful. And then cast Cloud Kill to try and reveal any enemies that fail to save in the cloud. I gotcha, bitch. And how do we deal with ballists? That's right, into the void of eternal despair and suffering that you built yourself. Taking the companions and moving them out of the globe in it so that remaining cultists had to come near us one at a time and hopefully reveal their locations. This one being the unluckiest. Into the void with you! The rest of this fight turned into a slow mudslicking contest between me and the cultists. Me trying to guess where the hell they are, hitting them with AoEs, while trying to whittle them down and chasming them when I could. Sometimes I just missed entirely and hurt my own allies. A necessary sacrifice for the good of the company. It was so frustrating to figure out where these fuckers were. I should have just found a way to cast Fairy Fire or something, but I was just too mad and I couldn't see straight. Or gay! That's right, we've gone woke. I learned that these smoke powder bombs I picked off Gortash were not smoke powder bombs at all. And then finally, it was over. I absorbed my competitor and all of her assets, and our stocks were finally up. And there was a certain vampire that I was eyeing up for my next investment opportunity. I decided to head into Cazador's palace with the same crew from last time, as it seemed to be a good combo, and it was easy enough to quickly get past the guards out front and go through the bowels of the house to get to what I needed and head into his inner sanctum. The first room you unlock is quite the circus, considering how these clowns walk themselves right into a wall of fire. Needless to say, I barely broke a sweat. After all the failed attempts with Orin, I am hungry for these W's. I swapped out Minthara for Lae'zel because I hadn't gotten to play with Lae'zel a bunch yet. Next up, Cazador's ass beating. Attempt 1 begins. I cast haste on Karlach and Shart, fly on Lae'zel, and healing incense aura along with a wall of fire from Mordra. Alright, Cazador, come and get it. Not like that, not that. You'd think you can just turn to a fine mist and avoid my wall of fire, eh? It's fine, she'll be back up at the start of my turn. Let's get up another AoE to slow down incoming enemies. Yeah, the stinky boys ain't farting on me today. At least I know there's something that I'll always hit, even though I really only can cast 3 of those. The goons slowly make their way over, and Shart shows them who's boss. Yeah, how you like that? Yeah! Oh fuck, someone kill that guy now! That crit would have felt cooler if it wasn't on a bat. Come on, Karlach, I ain't done with you yet. Again, it'd be really cool if these awesome abilities were used on not a bat. Oh, Jesus. Oh, by the way, we tossing these fellas. You know I love tossing a motherfucker. What is this guy's deal with Karlach? What is everyone's deal with Karlach? Everyone stop touching my damn sorcerer. God damn. What'll I just say? What'll I say? What is this, a fucking joke? What is this? What the hell is this? Karlach gets attacked every time, Shart never gets hit, and for some reason every bat in the world can hit and crit on Lae'zel. Having Shart around for that area healing ability is actually really important. I'm sad that I didn't figure this out sooner. Here comes Mr. fucking Dusty Bat. What the hell? Why can you do that? No! I would be so heavily demoralized right now if it were not for Shart being the absolute GOAT. The unhittable monster that just might be able to take me forward alone with Lae'zel. Yeah, we're tossing him. But we all know what the last resort is. It's barrels. Tossing motherfuckers, obviously. You get the fuck out of here. You're a pain in my ass. Okay, not Shart and Lae'zel, because Lae'zel's greatest weakness is bats, apparently! Alright, listen up, Mr. Dusty Bats. There ain't no way you're doing shit to my Shart. That's right, she resists. Go hide in your little fart cloud. Everyone write this down. Githyanki are allergic to bats. Alright, I have placed down my first barrel, and I'm going to fly away and execute it like so. Look at that. Beautiful. Now to go to a more central location and lure more enemies over to a new barrel. Look at that fool. Okay, people are hitting a little bit more than usual, but it's fine, because I'm gonna blow them all away with my amazing barrel technique. Why didn't that drop? Come on. There we go. Wait. Hold on. Wait, what? Did you see that? You might have missed it because it was so not obvious whatsoever, and no one could have known what was going to happen there. But I was taking opportunity attacks because Shart needed to move in order to have room to drop the barrel, apparently. And even with my superior perception, I missed it. A shame this could not have been prevented. Attempt 2 started similarly to the first, but I made sure to have Lae'zel and Shart's free fly spells active from the beginning, as well as moving off to the left and try to funnel the enemies through a smaller area. But somehow it went worse than I could have ever imagined, and we were all dead shortly after the beginning. I swapped out Lae'zel for Will as I felt like I needed more spell casting going on against an enemy that was immune to physical damage most of the time. Then it was time for setup and to begin attempt number 3. Not a great start, but that's why we have clerics, so not giving up yet. As I am often to do, the plan this time was a combination of the first two. To lure most of the enemies through the first wall of fire to get them down some, then down the second smaller path to the left and get them through another AoE to try and whittle them down as much as possible before we get overwhelmed by bats and werewolves and stinky fart boys. And after that nasty start, I felt like we were off to a pretty good attempt this time, with a lot of the goons taking that fire damage, and of course, you know, we tossing them bitches. Get tossed, motherfucker. And having up spells like Sunbeam, ones that can be recast every turn, was a must-have that I didn't realize before. Most of the bats got taken out by the wall of fire pretty much right away, and Mr. fucking Rattle Me Bones over here continues to target Karlach for some reason. It felt lucky that we were able to avoid a Cazador turn by him having to waste his action to dash, giving us another round of enemies walking through the fire and taking damage before getting to us. Yeah, these little fuckers are built Iron Hand tough. I sent Will further back to keep the fight moving and not have us tied down to one spot. We throw some more wolves into the chasm. Nice. I also had Shart leave behind a smoke powder barrel and fly away to hopefully obliterate most of the enemies here. Suck it, bats. And somehow we managed to get Cazador to have to use dash a second time and waste another one of his turns just getting closer to us. Big W. Side note, why is everything in Cazador's palace about being stinky? Miasmic auras, stinky fart boys, what is this? Barrel time. That worked amazingly. Love reverberation. Get fucked, sir. Never mind. There goes the last Mr. Bolfy. And then I sent Shark to take care of Rattleby Bones, because I couldn't have him chasing after us. That's right, bitch. See, look, he's rattling. Back over with the rest of the game. It was time to... Wow, great camera work, Larian. I really got that shot. Now, at this point, we hadn't done much damage to Cazador, but with every other threat pretty much out of the way, right after I get away from all these loser-ass bats and throw Mr. Rattleby Bones into the pit. Be fucked, sir. It was time to get dirty. Yeah, dance for me, Betty boy, dance! Oh, damn, he kinda hitting that. Shee! On his next turn, he failed to save from the dance and turned back into a misty fart cloud. Shart's over here with the bats. After that, it was honestly pretty trivial. He stayed incapacitated for the rest of the fight as we slowly whittled him down, and all that was left was a bunch of freaking bats. So, just a tip, do Otto's Irresistible Dance on Cazador. It fucking works. Alright, let me just... Oh, God, that shit is heavy. Sup, bitch? To be honest, guys, I've cheesed this fight more times than I've done it legitimately, because I think it's really funny to humiliate these cucks. So let's just get this shit rolling. Probably won't be here that long. Wait a second, why is this chapter so long? Must be a clerical error from one of my interns. If you were not aware, the key to cheesing this fight with the Sharns is much like any other fight. Funnel them through a choke point and bombard them with AoEs. I used Lae'zel to get their attention and then had Karlach cast Black Tentacles to begin slowing them down. I can use Lae'zel and Shadowheart to go in and deal melee damage to them when they are stuck in the muck, as well as shitting out smoke powder barrels that'll help us later. Now comes the AoE stacking, starting with Cloudkill, of course. And I cannot forget that Viconia has Radiant Retort that will kill me if I'm not careful. Let's just unequip that guy. Remember earlier when I didn't notice that when I cast Darkness it negated the Cloudkill? Well, this is where I learned how that worked. The Sharn casters started completely fucking me here. Ha! Still got a little bit of Cloudkill. My plan at this point is working pretty damn well, I think. Most of the Sharns have taken damage without getting close to me, and we are stomping out anyone who makes it through our first line of defense. And you may ask, what if they clear my clouds and start getting through? It's simple, dear child. That's just a small setback. Recast and move forward. I got heals for days. I don't care at all. Oh! She has an ability that can take all of us out at once, dealing over 40 damage to all of us. Okay, lesson learned, I'm gonna need to take her out a lot sooner. Attempt 2, I switch out Black Tentacles for Sleet Storm, which turns out to be a big success. Even the darkness dissipating Cloudkill can't stop them from slipping over each other. But sadly, concentration was lost on Sealstorm, and everything quickly went downhill from there. Attempt 3, I set up some additional barrels to try and hit them hard early, but Viconia scared me and I set them off too early, a premature explosion if you will, and you can guess how that went. Attempt 4, even more barrels, and a glyph trap so that this time they set it off on themselves. Hell yeah, took out like half of them. Quickly, Sleet Storm, Black Tentacles, Cloudkill. Haha, yeah, ain't nothing getting through us. Oh, fuck. Okay, more barrels. Even more barrels. A glyph that's even further back this time. Hold on, you can't get so far ahead. What are you doing? Oh my god, that was wasted on like 2 guys. Okay, Black Tentacles, Sleet Storm, Wall of Stone, go! Fuck. This time we're gonna hide everybody around the corner and pick them off as they make it to the wall. Most of the Sharn's turns here were spent dashing, slipping and falling, clogging themselves up in the hallway, so we're gonna skip over most of that.
For the Dark Lady.
Bro, do you mind? I'm narrating here. I'm being the most annoying spawn camping ass opponent over here. They haven't touched us, and I'm just mowing them down over there. Eat my farts. Once enough of them got close, I started to hit them with this shit. They were really a one-trick pony with the darkness casting, even though it was not doing much for them. My Wow, Char must be so proud. It's time to move the fight back some more. I only win this by thinning them out slowly. Bro, what the hell? This guy clipped through the wall! He's cheating! He's cheating! Get him out of here! She's cheating!
That motherfucker's cheating!
Great, yes. Keep bone chilling my companion so I can't heal anybody. Oh my god. Oh fuck, here comes Viconia, man. We haven't even touched her yet. Oh lord. Now these are the worst and scariest opponents I had to face off here. The fight is getting really close quarters, and I just gotta keep spamming one of my only moves, which is to just fart on them over and over again. Alright, it's kitty time. And the most satisfying hit of the match? Executioner on Viconia. Get fucked, bitch. Sunbeam! Oh, at this point we're fighting 1 caster and 2 justiciars, and this is the hardest this fight has ever been. The best I can do is to just shit out kitties all over the place and hope for the best. Ah, well, what you gonna do? This part's insane to me. Viconia, sitting down at 1 hit point knocked out, did Radiant Retort to Karlach. And then the Justiciars in this goddamn umbral form just started laying waste to all of us. And here's the most annoying part. They're immune to fucking bludgeoning damage. They're immune to all non-magical physical damage. So at this point, it is down to just me. My only weapon at the moment is bludgeoning damage through my cat claws. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Zooming out to the real world, the losses had taken a toll on me, and it was creating a mass of negative energy in the living room on a Tuesday night. My wife and wonderful editor had to save the household from being overtaken by the darkness emanating from my spot on the couch. So I took her advice, and I hit the scummiest save of my life. I could not stand to go through all of this again when I was so close to the end. So there was, butthole puckered into negative space. And the only thing I had left was an extra attack I earned from my Displacer Beast form. But we know that the attack the Beast can do won't work, so what am I to do but dismiss the Displacer Beast form and assess my options? The extra attack carries over when I leave Displacer Beast form. Interesting. I need to find something in our arsenal that could do 5 magical damage to end this fight. Nirulna. It does 3 to 12 thunder damage on impact. This is actually an 80% chance to hit the number we need. I don't even need to hit the target. I just need to hit that 80% on impact. Oh my god, I have no idea what I would have done if that killed me. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh, it's fucking over. Oh, that sucked more than the Orin fight. Okay, we got one more major foe to defeat before we take on the Brain. Just need to steal all the components from the Devil's Fee, which is easy when we have Pass Without Trace and Greater Invisibility. Throw a couple of Bibles into this here ritual circle.
Wise to reject the Devil's offer, but there is no reason to provoke him by invading his home.
Ignore that bitch in your ear. And boom! You're in hell. Yay! These are a surprise tool that's going to help us later. A quick chat with Hope to get us looking the part. Snazzy. I handed over Janet's hat to Karlach so she can take care of fooling Raphael's fancy man into giving us a pass to the sex dungeon. I distract Harlep with Karlach while sneaking Shadowheart and Lae'zel around the other side to steal the passcode to taking the Orphic Hammer.
Can't afford any mistakes.
Shard, are you getting smart with me? And then bada bing bada boom, we're in. We're in. We head back to the archive to grab our trinket.
Thief's been picking pockets near here.
Bro followed us back.
This would be a good moment to explain yourself.
Here's a treat, buddy. Don't spend it all in one place.
Gold may have made your problem go away this time, but next time you won't be so lucky.
I thought perhaps I could prevent a hostile environment trigger by hiding Lae'zel for the act, but it turned out to not matter at all.
Just rang Raphael's
dinner bell.
So in order to save as many resources as I could, and since I don't need the experience, I made everyone invisible and walked them over to Hope's prison undetected. I tried a couple of things to get Hope out of here without a fight, and this is the one that ended up working. Don't worry, you'll get to see more interesting versions of my suffering later. You won't miss this one. Greater invisibility equipped Lae'zel, and Pats Without Trace Shart made their way into the prison. Lae'zel gave both Hope and Shart a fresh 10 turns of invisibility with a potion. We easily destroyed the first magic rock undetected. Next, I gave Karlach a ring to give her a free mage hand cast and put another invisibility potion on the ground that we will use momentarily. When you destroy the second magic rock, it throws you into a cutscene that rips your closest character to Hope out of invisibility. While the dialogue is still happening, I switched to Lae'zel, went into turn-based, and gave Shart another fresh 10 turns of invisibility and got the fuck out of there. Karlach's mage hand then throws the other invisibility potion onto Hope, hiding her from the enemies surrounding her before the dialogue is even over. Very quickly, I switch back to Shart to end the dialogue and get both her and Hope out of the prison without anyone seeing a thing. While still in turn-based mode, I gave the whole crew more invisibility for the walk back through the house. Awesome, my barrels are still intact. Now time to prep for the show. How's that for a montage? Now as this fight begins, I'm just going to let it play out for you in real time so that you can watch it the exact same way that I did. Yeah, I didn't get one fucking turn, and we're all dead. That was the first attempt. Well, that fucking sucks. I'm gonna start this attempt with a globe if we can even get a turn in. Fuck. Okay. Alright, let's try hiding everyone to get a head start. Next, I tried this approach where I give Tav the Helm of Arcane Acuity, which gives me, you guessed it, Arcane Acuity for 2 turns every time I hit with a melee attack. I hit some inanimate objects to charge it up, give us some globes, and get Raphael and hold monster easily. And then... Same setup as last time, but I had a few different tricks up my sleeve. Shart, Mordra, and Karlach all start out invisible. I gave Karlach the Cinder Sizzle gloves for that free Scorching Ray. As the new globe goes up and Raphael is held once again, Karlach uses Scorching Ray to set off the barrels at each pillar. And this time, the damage rolls were in our favor as every single one was destroyed. I had Bazel cast haste on herself and remove the globe around Raphael to start dealing damage to him. The next couple of rounds go by uneventful as the globe keeps us safe from pretty much all attacks. I got Hope to banish Yrgir because he's annoying as fuck, as an enemy, not as a person. He's low-key chill like that. Then Mordra is once again able to hold down Raphael for a round of attacks. Oh, except no one goes in between Mordra and Raphael, so the hold just goes away, and Karlach is still able to get some conditions of damage done nonetheless. Shart, with her activated flying giant powers, starts her own game of cat and mouse with Raphael. With Hope's remaining level 5 spell slot, I have her banish another champion, lowering the difficulty once again. Since it doesn't even work, I don't even have Mordra hold Raphael anymore, and I have her cast Sunbeam. This assures another 10 turns of attacks against enemies outside of the globe. Aw, he angry now. Well, Fireball didn't do nothing. Now take some magic missile bit. Oh, I targeted the floor by accident. Wonderful. Hope gets some damage in on a champion with our single turn without a globe. Fro's getting invulnerability mobbed. Cortisol spike, cringe. A number of rounds go by, and we are only able to take out a single Cambion. Now that's what I call slow burn. Am I right, guys? Alright, globes down. Time for another sunbeam. Oh, fuck. Vengeful radiant damage. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Oh, fuck. Without being able to raise a new globe in the meantime, everybody but Shart dies. But will we not, kitten? Daddy's already 2 steps ahead. At this point I noticed something I wish I had earlier. This devilishly strong ability. You really gotta take these guys out. But with us being so close, it's time to break out Divine Intervention. Everybody's back up at half health, all spell slots restored. Let's go, baby. Instead of putting up more globes, I use this time to get more damage in, since I know everyone will be brought back by Shart's healing aura next turn. As long as they don't actually full-on die. Like that. Sorry, Lazo, let me get you up over there. Almost the entire team was down once again. We're experiencing the absolute whiplash of being brought right back up. And this time, I do cast a globe. I can't do nothing without that bitch. And with renewed spell slots comes more banishment. Now it's only the 3 plus Raphael. I think we can really do it this time. The last not heavily injured Cambion banished, and Shart tosses another right outside the globe. Damn, that feels good. Oh, fuck, I can't bring her back to the globe. It's fine, she's the GOAT. Good thing Raphael isn't smart enough to attack Shart. Another globe down, our final Cambion down. Props to whoever recorded that Cambion scream, goddamn. Team restored. Alright, 5-on-1. It's now just us against Raphael. We can do this. He's under half health. Although he is really hard to defend against like this. Okay, it's official. We cannot stand grouped up like this. We are not going to survive this way.
Not going to last much longer.
Yes, you are, Shart. You can do it. Alright, splitting up the team. He can't go after all of us at once. Good shot, Lazel. Wait, what the fuck? Why didn't that heal Mordred? What's going on? Severed soul? Burning? What the fuck? Alright, Raph, how about a level 4 guiding bolt to the dome? Huh? How you feel about that? Yeah. What? Hope was still alive! What do you mean? Fuck this stupid game. That is entirely unfair. You saw how I had an ally left, and they took me out. That's just not right. Lae'zel and Karlach weren't even dead. They're just down. We could have healed them. God, I'm tired of all this fucking work leading to nothing. All right, I'm calling my father to shut this whole operation down. That's right. You will rue the day. Rue it. This is what you get for not letting me win. I mean, for not playing fair. Hasta la vista, putas. Whoa. I am genuinely surprised my computer survived all that. Wait, why the fuck am I still in combat? Raphael's alive? Where is he? No, genuinely, everything is on fire. Where is he? 19 hit points? How? That was like 40 barrels of rune powder to the face. What the hell is this? And he's out of reach? He's all the way over there? Oh my god, you're joking. Girl, just hit him! Come on! Oh great, now he's fucking ascending again. Wait, is he making the room brighter? What the fuck? Oh my god, man. Just fucking hit the guy. Please. Oh my god, 1 hit point? You have to be kidding me. Ugh, one more sunbeam. God, I need a fucking vacation. I hear Waterdeep's lovely this time of year. Heading through the brain sewers, I was not going to waste my precious time in these brine pits, and I invisibly flew past all the filth. And here's the part where we get to roll, but it won't do anything. I like to dump all my attempts here just to see if I crit on any of them. Oh, would you look at that? I freed Orpheus because fuck that male manipulator Squidward, and also fuck having anyone this game has made me form an attachment to becoming a Mind Flayer. I set up Shart with the Pass Without Trace ring once again to get us through the courtyard fight without wasting any resources, have Mordra fly up to the brainstem door, and boom, skipped a bunch of grunt work. Now it's time for the real game to begin. My plan was to use haste on everyone so that I can summon every single ally within the first round, causing bountiful distractions for the minions while I make my way over with Orpheus for the real target. For some reason, the allies tend to go for the brain tendrils first, probably because they have the least HP, I guess, but it was really annoying. This was going really well. All the enemies were distracted and held off during their turns. Karlach was the only person I was not able to move out of the starting area before the dragon killed her in one blast. Nothing a quick dimension door can't handle though. Having Orpheus cast the spell in the second round ain't bad though. I'm happy with that. This move is one I was not able to pull off more than once, but it was extremely funny. One thing that was a real pain in the ass was Magic Missile from the Mind Flayers. Let's just say I figured that out later. Round 3, all the team had to do was hold back the Mind Flayers while Orpheus finished the spell and opened the portal to the brain itself. The final assault had begun. Getting the rest of the team in the portal was beginning to become more of a challenge than I thought it was. The number of allies that I had was dwindling due to the deaths and dominations. The brain's forces finally had enough awareness to train their eyes on us. Lae'zel was fully killed by the dragon, and everyone else had been down but Mordra, who was able to bring back Lae'zel right before heading into the portal herself. My first issue with the Netherbrain was the Orbs of Negation. These took out nearly all of the nearby platforms immediately, eliminating any possibility of up-close melee attacks from my stronger companions like Shadowheart or Lae'zel. My second issue was the Retributive Brainquake, a reaction the brain has to taking damage the first time in a round. It deals 10 to 60 psychic damage, which if you've noticed the amount of HP my party has, can easily one-shot everyone. Karlach was completely taken out before I could bring her in, making Lae'zel the final companion able to help against the brain itself. She knocked one arrow at the brain, and the Brainquake reaction was my downfall, as expected. Time to adjust my approach a little. At this point, I'm thinking I need to get everyone in earlier, and see if it's just extremely bad luck that everyone died at once the second we were all in there. Something I neglected to do on the first run was Kithrak Voss's Wall of Fire, which was an awesome addition to our line of distraction. Combined with the black hole from Orpheus, it was a much stronger start than the first attempt, which was already pretty great in my opinion. We were knocking down enemies left and right, no trouble at all, until the dragon got to us. But then we got to the portal fairly easily, and got to work on putting this bitch down. Well, not exactly. The Brainquake that took us out last time was still a big problem, but along with that, I had made the grave error of spreading out the companions across the area, making the Orbs of Negation take out way more platforms faster than we can deal with damage. I came to realize that with the non-existent amount of high-level spells, the amount of times we would die to the Brainquake, and how much time we had to finish the task, it would be impossible to do this with 4 companions alone, kitted out as they were. Astarion was brought along with the help of Party Limits Begone to try and bring this possibility of victory. We began with the Wall of Fire and then summoning as many allies as we could onto the field, and for some reason they all started to run straight into the Wall of Fire. Are you guys stupid? What happened? With our allies taking a beating early, the eyes of our enemies shifted to the main team way sooner than I wanted. This one was fucked.
This is the only outcome.
Shut the fuck up, Squidward. I'm gonna start sparing you guys going through the first half of the fight once again because we have already made it to this point multiple times and the same shit done happened as before. I made sure along with our haste to bring speed potions and as many scrolls of Sunbeam and Fireball as I could to get maximum damage output on the brain. It's insane that a level 3 spell is the best I can do here. I made sure to keep everyone grouped up this time so that I could hopefully control better where the orbs would strike turn to turn. With my team in a chunk of initiative, I was able to make sure everyone was brought back up after the brain lashed out with the quake. Then the cycle would begin, moving all our team away from the negated platforms to safe ones while doing as much damage as possible without the fear of the brain's reaction. This legitimately seems like the run. The brain is down to 51 health. It had to end this run. Well, can't win them all, I guess. Or any of them. Let's try a couple more fire wine barrels this time. Hell yeah. Alright, let's go. Oh, that's my bad. Sorry. Wait, what the hell is this orb placement? Like, all the fucking platforms are gonna go this turn. Oh my god, Jesus. I'm trying again. Let's start over. Alright, fuck me, I guess. Okay, this time I'm positioning my early entries in the back platforms, right next to the brain. The least important platforms to get negated first. Those orbs feel like they're stretching out a bit further than they should, but okay. Come on, Astarion, you can do it! Get her, Astarion, go! Oh! Getting Shadowheart and Orpheus up here early really was the move. Almost half down already. Then with the first platforms falling, it was time to bring back an old reliable. Brainquake can't hurt me in here! Haha, get fucked! Alright, time to evacuate everyone to the other side and set up some more fire wine barrels while we're at it. 3 rounds remaining and she's under half. Feels really good. Never change, Shart. Fun fact I learned just now, the orbs of negation apply the death condition, which the globe of invulnerability makes ineffective. So the platforms that you put the globe on won't be destroyed. Handy. The more you know, you know. The more you know. I'll bring everyone back to the globe before doing our first attack. Gotta save everybody from them quakes. And all it took was a couple more fireballs, a classic magic missile, and was only fair that the one who got the final blow was the person who carried us here on his wet, slimy back. It's time the Sword Coast comes under new management. You can turn in your name, badge, and your mug. In the end, we proved that those born with the right stuff and the resources granted to them by the rich, long-dead family members from days past will always conquer every challenge ahead of them. I was born rich for a reason, and no one can take that away from me. Gale, put your robe back on. Long may the heroes of Baldur's Gate live.
Hold it. Everyone stop.
What? Hey, I was monologuing.
We went over your challenge point statements and determined that there is fraud going on here.
I never. How dare you accuse me of white-collar crimes? Do you know who my father is?
There was a scoring system the whole time. What did you think the nepotism -1 or +1 was all about? You thought that was just for funsies?
Well, those were overlays edited and posted by my intern.
Ignorance is not an excuse for breaking the law. You did not succeed this challenge. You lost more than you won. I mean, you brought in a 5th teammate. Really?
Did you see how little damage I was doing at a time?
Exactly why you don't deserve that victory after accruing -21 points.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, -22 points. That's right, bud. You know where you're going.
Man, Karlach, I'm glad I convinced you to come back here to save your life, and not because I was sent here as punishment for financial crimes. Yep, just me and my favorite buff lady, here on our own accord.